But what he's saying is like a record label sits around and decides what goes on a record. No. You think so? Do you think record labels care about the black struggle? Do you think record labels care about poverty-stricken people? No, of course not. They care about people buying their records because it's a business. This isn't some kind of weird-ass conspiracy where the Jewish mafia is turning black men in prison that are homosexual into gangster rappers that are fake celebrities to get more people put in prison. Like, that's going too far. It doesn't need to be all that. Candace Owens' Twitter feed is wild. It's crazy to think that there are people that follow Candace Owens. Hold on. How many people follow Candace Owens? 5.6 million people. Ho! 5.6 million people. My faith in humanity continues to decline. 5.6 million people read this tweet, guys. Gangster rap was never about black culture. It was created by the feds who proffered deals to homosexual black men in prison and then turned them into artificial celebrities. The goal was to create false idols to destroy black American values. I will never change my mind on this. That's what she said. Candace Owens makes money off her persona. Yeah, like, is that not the ironic part of this? Is that in many ways, Candace Owens is a artificial celebrity. I watched her debate with Destiny, and it was one of the weirdest conversations from both sides, to be honest with you. I've seen Destiny in some really good debates, and he does a very good job in his debates. I was very underwhelmed by his performance with Candace Owens, because I thought that, like, she threw him off his game, because she was just like, it was like listening to a high school kid talk. Candace Owens was literally like listening to a high school kid talk about drama. And Destiny kind of got stuck in that, right? But I was very underwhelmed by Destiny's performance. But like, as far as what Candace Owens did, like, I was like, that's exactly what I expected. That's exactly what I expected. Was Candace Owens is she doesn't seem like a person that really deserves the celebrity that she has, the voice that she has. It's kind of insane to think that there's 5.6 million people out there, 11.2 million views on this post about this. Crazy. Jake Shields, a guy who I've been watching in MMA for, 10 years, 15 years, maybe 20 years? Gone crazy. Jake Shields lost his goddamn mind. It was created by the Jewish mafia. Now, the one thing you can say about guys like Jake Shields is maybe they have CTE. They've been punched in the head, kicked in the head, choked out, put to sleep. They've lost oxygen to their brain cells multiple times in their career. Jake Shields, like, I remember watching him on Bully Beatdown on MTV years ago and thinking, like, man, I like Jake Shields. Good for you to come on here and put this bully in his place. Mind you, it's probably all fake as fuck, right? But it was created by the Jewish mafia. So Jake Shields here is saying that gangster rappers were created by the government, that they were homosexual black men in prison that were turned into artificial celebrities that were created by the government that was funded by the Jewish mafia. Jewish mafia. Jewish mafia. What does a Jewish mafia look like? Is Ben Shapiro part of it? Allegedly. Like, who is the Jewish mafia? It's so weird, dude. How weird is this? This guy right here, I can't even read. What is this guy's name? Who knows what this guy is, right? It was created by Jews. Anyone blaming the feds or the CIA is a coward. And then he's got just like, look like some psycho What is it when a collage, right? When you just take like pieces from magazines and just like stick them all over the place. It's like a psychotic collage. This dude is saying Eazy-E, Dr. Dre. Is that Rihanna? Were created by Rick Rubin? Rick Rubin and Eminem? What the hell is going on? He is of Rick Rubin is allegedly part of the Jewish mafia, according to this random ass Twitter guy. Who else? Paul Rosenberg? Eminem's part of it. It is so weird. How many followers this guy got? 23,000 followers this guy has. Vincent Kennedy says the whites got the Beastie Boys. This is exactly what Ice Cube brought to light not too long ago. Hold on. Oh, let's see what this has to be out of context. I mean, I know Ice Cube said some dumb shit lately, but he couldn't have said something this dumb. Let's see.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, they're diversifying, right?
Records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the...
No, see, this is why Ice Cube's a fucking moron. Oh my God. Like, he's like so close. Like, look, when I was younger and stuff and gangster rap was coming out and everybody was pushing back against it and stuff, like, I understood people that push back against gangster rap. Because, like, it's always been, like, what's that? It's a lyric in a Tupac song. If you're from the hood, don't pass through because some old school fool might blast you. Like, that was, like, literally saying, if you ain't from the hood, don't come to the hood. Like, you ain't part of the hood. You shouldn't even want to be a part of this shit. Like, right? Like, for sure, like, gangster rap was not like, when we talk about like Selly Cell, when we talk about SIBO, even like Brother Lynch Hung, like old gangster rappers and stuff like that, were not like, it wasn't a positive influence in the community for fucking sure. And obviously that led to people getting, doing stuff that they shouldn't do, glorifying the life and getting themselves put in prison. But it wasn't like a government conspiracy. Dude, no one, like, RBL posse, like, the government wasn't funding SIBO, dude. The government wasn't funding Spice One or Rappin' Forte or E40. Like, I mean, if he's what he's trying to say is, like, the people that own, well, Interscope, isn't Interscope owned by Dr. Dre? Right? Like, or is that Jimmy Iovine? Like, that's ridiculous. It's once again one of these times where people are like they're not taking accountability or responsibility for their own bullshit. Like Tupac for sure, Tupac was both a very inspiring individual, but also said some very controversial and did some really controversial shit. He was a human being. He wasn't black or white. He was gray. There's stuff he did that like even I don't support, and then there's stuff that he did that was like amazing. Like, Dear Mama was a great song. Brenda's Got a Baby was a fucking insanely influential, good song. It talked a lot about the struggles of being a black woman in the ghetto and like having no support and being like harmed by your like family members. If you don't know what Brenda Got a Baby about, it's a song about a girl being impregnated by I think her uncle, and then like having to like she like hides the baby in a trash can. Like, like it's like, dude, it's insane. But he also did some really like fucked up stuff too. It was just like people like put so much of like their own accountability or their own responsibility on the government when it's like really their actions that do these things. Gangster rap was created for the ghetto. It was created for we used to bump that shit in 15-inch subwoofers, Rockford Fosgate, you know what I'm saying? Gigantic amp. Like, it was just like, when you're part of that life, you don't, like, if you're not part of the life, you don't understand why people enjoy that life. It's addictive. It's like a drug. It's like, you don't get it if you're not from it. So, like Ice Cube is full of shit, but he's also like he's like really close right here. He's saying something that makes a lot of sense. Like the people that own the record labels also own the prison systems. Oh, for sure. He's saying that, you know, like that the people that own the record labels push out this stuff because it leads to more people being put in the prison system. I think that's like maybe like one step too far. Like I don't think that they're upset about it. I think they're like fine with that. And I think that they're fine with putting like young black men in prison for things like having like, you know, an eighth of weed in their pocket. But I don't know that it's some kind of gigantic conspiracy where you influence NWA to make gangster rap so that leads to people getting put in prison so they can make money off of it. That's like I said, that's like a very like complicated plan for something that was already going to happen. It seems crazy. What up,
It's not
Agoff?
about making somebody write the
What's happening, Jamie
lyrics.
Lynn?
It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics.
Yeah, but that's like, that makes sense, right? Like, doesn't that make sense? If you're a record label, you're like, I want this record to sell. They don't give a shit about your message. They're not like sitting around going like, we're all going to save the world. They're sitting around going, what's hot? Just like what he fucking just said. And if they have a dude that writes the lyrics, it's not going to be to like, I don't even think this is Ice Cube. We're not watching the full clips. This is obviously edited. So I think this person has edited this to make their own point look, salient or prescient, pertinent. God, I can't find the word pertinent. I bet the full clip is different than this. But what he's saying is like a record label sits around and decides what goes on a record. No shit. You think so? Do you think record labels care about the black struggle? Do you think record labels care about poverty-stricken people? No, of course not. They care about people buying their records because it's a business. This isn't some kind of weird-ass conspiracy where the Jewish mafia is turning black men in prison that are homosexual into gangster rappers that are fake celebrities to get more people put in prison. Like, that's going too far. It doesn't need to be all that. It's insane.
We're gonna have that. You have, the record company pushing the narrative. Some social engineering going on here.
Who is Mike
to
Wells?
make sure those
is.
prisons stay full.
John Homeston, a retired CIA agent, has admitted on national Russian television that the CIA was behind the creation of the 1980s hip-hop scene and
Dude, I'm not watching the rest of this shit. I can't do this. This is the kind of shit that just like makes me so mad. Makes me so goddamn mad. Like, we can't have nothing special. We can't have nothing good in our lives. These people these goddamn doomer conspiracy theorists have to ruin everything with their paranoia. The CIA was behind Eazy-E. The next thing in this video is going to be that the CIA, that Eazy-E was going to turn on them and tell everybody, and so they gave him AIDS. Like, I could make up these conspiracies too, dog. You don't have to. You can't have anything nice anymore. You can't have anything nice. Like even stuff that we all know is bad. Like, we look at everything that's going on with Diddy right now, and we're like, Diddy did some shit. Diddy did that. Like, instead of just being like, look at this guy. He's a terrible person. He's a human trafficker. He threatened to, like, burn people's shit down. He kidnapped people. He harmed people. He forced them to do, like, sexual acts. All these things. Like, that's bad enough. You don't need to throw in, and it's all because of Jewish mafia. Like, no, it's already bad.